Good morning, dear students. So, by now you have understood that the adaptive immunity involves antibodies. Now, the adaptive immunity is of two types. One is natural, one is artificial. Natural adaptive immunity is, as I told you, when a disease is caused due to a pathogen and the body develops an immunity against that disease on its own. This is known as your adaptive immunity, natural type. Now, most of you might have had an occurrence of chickenpox during your childhood. But ever since, did you have another reoccurrence of that disease? No, you did not. Because when your body was infected by the bacteria, eventually fighting with that bacteria, the body developed antibodies against that bacteria. So next time, whenever the bacteria invaded the body, these antibodies stored in our memory cells attacked the bacteria and killed it. That's the reason you had only one occurrence of the chickenpox in your lifetime. As discussed just some time back, that acquired immunity is because of antibodies. So, antibodies are responsible for acquired immunity. So, one is your body develops immunity against a particular disease. Second is, naturally, if you see, when a child is born, we have discussed, there are some antibodies which crosses the placenta and enters the child's body. These antibodies are there in the child for some time to protect the child, and eventually when the immune system of the child develops, it also develops some similar antibodies to protect the child in future. Similarly, the colostrum also contains some antibodies. That's the reason it is said for the initial few days a child should be only having mother's milk because it is nutritious as well as it provides immunity to the growing child. So, adaptive immunity occurs or comes in a child in two ways. One, the child develops its own immunity. Second, some immunoglobulins or immune molecules are passed on from the mother to the child through the colostrum and through the placenta. So, adaptive immunity is of two types: naturally acquired, artificially acquired. Naturally acquired immunity is of again two types: active and passive. Inactive, naturally antigens enter the body which trigger production of antibodies and specialized lymphocyte. What are these antigens? The pathogens. Against these pathogens, the body develops antibodies and they stay in the body. Next is passive. So, naturally few antibodies pass from mother to fetus through placenta passively and also through breast milk. So, this is naturally acquired active and passive immunity. Similarly, there is another artificially acquired immunity. For this artificially acquired immunity is also of two types. For example, the first is which is active. So, antigens are introduced into the body as vaccines which trigger your immune response and you develop antibodies in your body. You might be knowing that newborns are injected with different vaccines. And you also might have had a history of various vaccines when you were born. Now, what do these vaccines do? They are mild doses of the actual disease. When they are inserted or injected into the infant, the growing B cells and T cells develop immunity against these pathogens, and as a result of which the antibodies remain in the child's memory cells. So when the body is again invaded by the bacteria or the pathogen, these stored antibodies they get triggered by the T cells and B cells produce them to stop the pathogen into our body. The fourth type is the passive artificially acquired immunity. In this, what happens? Formed antibodies are introduced into the system by injections. For example, suppose you have been bitten by a snake. Antivenom injections are given to prevent the spreading of the venom. Now, these antivenom are nothing but prepared antibodies. Now, these antibodies are not remembered by the human cell. They have to be injected every time such a case occurs. Suppose you are injected by a snake, antivenom injection has to be given. This will not create any memory in your body. Suppose again you are bit by a snake, you have to get another antivenom injection. There is no preformed antibody in your body. So this is your artificially acquired passive immunity. These immune cells, the antibodies, they actually die. They are protein molecules, like the immunity which was coming from the mother through blood or through the colostrum. They are proteins. They just help the newborn baby for few days. Then they die because they are proteins. The baby slowly develops its own immunity. In case of this artificially acquired passive immunity also, in case of antivenoms injections, these antivenoms are proteins. They destroy the venom in your body, and with time they get degraded and they are lost. They do not create a memory in our body, as a result of which during the next snake bite you have to take another antivenom injection. I hope with this it is clear to you that immunity, adaptive immunity, is of two types: natural, artificial, and both natural and artificial are of two types: active and passive. In active immunity, body develops the antibodies against the antigen, whereas passive antibodies comes inside the body from an out source. In case of natural, it comes from the mother to the child, and in case of artificial, it is the antibodies are injected in the person. The next topic that I'll discuss now would be vaccination. What is a vaccine? It is a substance that is introduced into the body to prevent the disease produced by certain pathogen. Vaccine consists of dead pathogens or live but attenuated, that is artificially weakened. The disease causing part of the bacteria or the virus is removed. That is why it is known as attenuated. Attenuated means the disease causing part of the bacteria is removed. The vaccine induces immunity against pathogen either by production of antibodies or by activation of T lymphocytes. Antibodies get activated, that is antibodies are produced by B cells, and the T cells help the antibodies to be produced by the B cells. That is why it is said the vaccines actually they are triggering the B cells to produce antibodies. They are signaling the T cells to produce to make the B cells produce the antibodies. See children, the whole immunology is a like chain reaction. There are different molecules being secreted, and there are different molecules which are because of the secretion of the molecules that is triggering another set of molecule. So this is a chain reaction. One signal gives signal to another signal, one cell gives signal to another signal. So this is a chain reaction which goes and produces antibodies. These antibodies, when they identify the pathogen, they go and bind to them and kill the pathogen. This is the work the antibody does. So what is a vaccine? A mild attenuated pathogen is introduced into the body, and the body cells definitely will react to this foreign antigen, and the body will develop antibodies. These antibodies, since the body is developing on its own, it will remember it. As a result of which, later on, when the actual bacteria infects the organism, then these antibodies get triggered and they kill the pathogen. Vaccination is a method of giving antigen to stimulate the immune response through active immunization. A vaccine is an immunobiological substance designed to produce specific protection against a given disease. A vaccine is antigenic but not pathogenic. So it is not the real pathogen, it is the attenuated pathogen. With the development of recombinant DNA technology, it has become very easy to develop vaccines for various diseases. But then, as I have discussed with you for this COVID-19, the outer surface of COVID-19 virus is similar to human cells. That's the reason people are not able to develop an effective vaccine against this particular virus. They are able to identify the virus only when the RNA is extracted. So you have to break the molecule of virus in order to kill it. So it is a bit difficult situation. But yes, our recombinant DNA technology has helped to develop vaccines of a number of disease-causing pathogens. We will be discussing about recombinant DNA technology. It is like tailoring the DNA and making the vaccine, cutting out the DNA, sorting out the, like I told you, attenuated virus. That means attenuated bacteria or pathogen. That means from the bacteria, the disease causing part is removed. Only the part which is required to develop an antibody is allowed to enter the body. So the attenuated pathogen is basically a tailor-made pathogen. So from where have we got it? We have got it from recombinant DNA technology. Recombinant DNA technology allows the production of the vaccine in a very large quantity, and that too in very short time. The vaccine for hepatitis B has been developed using yeast cells. So using yeast cells, this particular vaccine has been developed, and this question has come quite a number of times. Name a vaccine developed with the help of recombinant DNA technology. So it is the hepatitis B vaccine. The vaccines are produced in bacteria or yeast.